public servants need not be coiffed and cardboard images, that in fact they must be flesh and blood.
She's saucy, she's opinionated, she's got her own life, separate from the president's.
She, for the most part, refuses to be the cookie-baking, non-threatening housewife.
If you had to sort of boil it down to one thing, she's just a very strong, powerful character.
She's a doctor and a nurturer and a healer and a mother, and she's every bit his equal.
The First Lady has a tremendous amount of influence on the president. She's there when he wakes up in the morning. She's there when he goes to bed at night. It has always been that way. First Ladies have always had a tremendous amount of power. I don't care if it was Martha Washington or Dolly Madison or Nancy Reagan or Hillary Clinton or Laura Bush. They're powerful, they play a role, they have an influence, and they affect the culture of the White House. There's no getting around it.
When I came in, there was no First Lady. It just wasn't revealed yet. We didn't know where it was going to go, who the woman would be, and how old, and what kind of relationship they would have.
There was no design for the First Lady there was no, is she going to be a character in the show? What's she going to be? Literally was Aaron saying, Tommy, I think I need the First Lady in this episode.
Everything was very fast in those days because literally Aaron would emerge from his office and say, the First Lady is in the next episode, and that would start in 5 minutes.
I remember coming in one day for a writer's meeting, and Aaron was passing around a list of actresses to maybe play a wife.
Well, it was one of those, God, what if we could get Stockard Channing? I mean, we need someone like Stockard Channing. Well, let's ask Stockard Channing,
And it was a very, very small part. It was very, I was very disappointed when I read it. I said, oh, she's just in and out, and it was a lot of back and forth. Like, I didn't think I could do it because it was scheduling. At the midnight hour, I literally had 5 days off, and I was in Canada going hiking. And something made me just turn the cell phone on and say, excuse me, I know this is really sort of show busy, but can I just see if I have a message? This guy was taking me up into the mountains to hike. And there was this message, and they said, don't move, we think we can work it out. And I literally got back to the airport and arrived in 95-degree heat in Los Angeles in my hiking boots and a duffel coat, and was taken to wardrobe where I was poured into an evening dress that I'd never laid eyes on before, and showed up the next morning at the state dinner. I went to Martin, I said, hi, we've never met, but I think we've been married for about 50 million years, and that was the beginning of it all.
The chemistry worked immediately, and I think Stockard was in our second or third show.
You immediately felt like they were a marriage. She's certainly willing to take him on.
They both together have an incredible respect for one another that shows and plays beautifully between them.
I always remember Tommy saying, you can't just slap a pair of glasses on someone and call them smart. They have to be smart. And Stockard is just enormously smart, not to mention that she looks real swell in an evening gown.
Well, Stockard just loves to dress up. It's just, she loves clothes. She has a great sense of style. And of course, she always loves the evening gowns. I think Washington is a very conservative place. We wanted somebody with a little bit more oomph. And that was the incident of the famous exposed breasts, because we decided wouldn't it be great to have a First Lady that was really sexy, which we hardly ever see in real life. And we got about 300 letters from people around the country saying, oh my God, the First Lady had breasts.
Nice job with the, raising of the kid.
They're beautiful.
They're real, too. They can cut glass.
That's diamonds, I can cut glass.
Well, damn it, what are these then?
We also started using a lot more estate jewelry on Stockard. Almost everything that Stockard wears is real. It's the real thing. And we often have a guard on the set who comes with the piece, follows her around the set all day when she's wearing the jewelry. Usually cute guys, too, so it's great.
You outwitted my chancellor. You bested my swordsman.
I haven't mentioned this in a while, ma'am, but I think you and the president are a perfect couple.
She has her own issues and her own political agenda, and we wanted that to be reflected in the way that she dressed. We try to do the red and blue and, the flag. And it relates really well to her as a person because Abby Bartlett is this fiery, she's a firecracker.
Game on, boyfriend. Let's go.
Okay.
By the way, I feel bad. I don't think I've done enough to help you prepare for this debate.
Why are you telling me this now?
Just 'cause.
Oh, my God.
There's got to be somebody at the end of the day who can take a pair of scissors and cut the president's tie off. There's got to be somebody who can pop the bubble and stand up to the president and remind him to be humble, remind him of who he is.
She knows exactly what she's doing. It's an act of insanity, and it works perfectly.
You know, you always want to be on the secret, what's on stage and what's backstage, and that was largely a big appeal, I think, from the get-go, and it's also tremendously well done.
Hello?
Mr. President, it's 6 a.m.
Oh, okay. I didn't ask for 5?
You did, sir, and the First Lady changed it to 6.
She's allowed to do that?
Sir?
Privateers was, one of those great opportunities to peel the outside of the onion open and say, this is what happens when you open up the wall of the White House and look inside at the First Lady. You're waking up in the bedroom with the President and the First Lady to sort of hammer home the idea that he has to wake up every morning with the one person on the planet who's smarter than he is.
How many Democrats are defecting?
I don't know yet.
How many would defect if you asked them?
I don't know.
You didn't make the calls?
I'm not prepared to do that yet.
What would happen if you said, send me this bill with the gag rule, and I'll veto?
We're a husband and a wife having breakfast, getting the newspaper, trying to have, and all he really wants is, which I think many husbands have felt, and probably reverse many wives have felt. But at that moment, that husband would be like, we just have breakfast, just eat.
Well, I think it's also a portrait of a marriage. I think we see a marriage that feels real to us in an incredibly high-pressure situation, but where they have their strengths and their weaknesses, and their places where they are in sync and places where they've probably always had a little friction.
What the hell kind of free world are you running?
I really don't know, Abby. The day hasn't started yet.
She's not elected. I think he has to keep reminding her, your name was not on the ballot.
And it's a complicated relationship to be, she's a mother of 3 girls and the wife of the president, and suddenly she's without a career of her own. It's a hard dynamic.
The First Lady is in a difficult point in her career, and that she's in retreat from her career because of the pressures of being the First Lady, and she's a little lost, and yet trying to get something done while she's there. And the claustrophobic office of the First Lady, where you're not really supposed to get too much done because you're just the First Lady.
Why doesn't my agenda get anywhere in these negotiations?
Well, can I ask you, ma'am, why do you think?
Because you're a political snob who doesn't think the First Lady belongs on the starboard side of the building.
Wrong.
Wrong what?
Wrong, ma'am.
Damn right.
It's entertaining and interesting to see a First Lady portrayed that way, because we never see a First Lady portrayed that way in the media. Even if somebody like Josh, who's one of the savviest guys in the building, says, you're out of line, she doesn't care. She's going to get it done.
You want me to get the president to declare his intention to veto his own bill?
Yeah. No, it's not that easy. But we're going to do it anyway.
She's not someone who will take no easily without an explanation. If she's told that we can't support a certain belief she has or an idea that she wants to put forth, we better come up with a very good reason why.
Leo.
We should think of something we can give them.
Honey, if we're going to have this fight, can we not do it in front of the Joint Chiefs? It just scares the hell out of them.
Some people have often accused Leo of being Bartlet's mistress, and I would agree to that as long as I could preface it with political mistress.
There's this dynamic in the show that is now defined. It's like, I'm the wife and he's the mistress kind of thing. Which I think Martin would be stunned to hear. But, there is this sort of triangle implied.
Good evening, sir.
Yes?
You look sharp.
Thank you.
Hey, Abby.
Hi, Leo.
The 2 Mrs. Bartlets, we joke. The man behind the man and the woman behind the man, kind of that triangle. And I'm giving him the advice and holding him up in the Oval and in the sit room, and she's doing it in the residence. So we both feel great love for the same man.
Hon, this is like nerd hot talk.
Who's your commander-in-chief?
You are.
Yes.
Stockard is an actor and Abby Bartlett as a character are just tough and feisty and in your face and not going to play second fiddle to anybody. And I think it challenges Bartlett to be better all the time.
She plays off Martin. She humanizes Martin in a way that no other character or actor could, in that she knows him better than anybody else.
Well, it's an incredible chemistry that they have. First of all, I think they look great together, their sizes, their looks. But I think it's more than that. It's just a thing that fits sort of like a glove to a hand.
Abigail. Abby, the kids are eating sugar.
Oh.
How you doing? You know I gave the kids candy all the time, right?
Behind my back?
Yes.
You bought their love?
Well, it was for sale and I wanted it.
I just love working with her. She's such a compliment, you know. Not an ounce of sentiment, which makes it work, you know, because then there's a reality. I don't get the sense that you ever feel sorry for this first couple. On the contrary, you envy them. They adore each other, and they work as a team.
Samuel Mudd set Booth's leg after he shot Lincoln. Doctors are liable in this country. They don't treat the patient right in front of them.
Just for the record, this is why we don't talk about foreign policy, which we do, and you don't think we do it enough.
Why?
Because Samuel Mudd was tried and convicted of treason for setting that leg.
So?
What so?
So that's the way it goes. You set the leg.
The patient right in front of them.
Yes.
I think Stockard has played the angst, the worry, the pressure, the joy sometimes, the love of the man. I think she's shown us all those aspects of being First Lady.
She's somebody who can handle, whether it's in life or on stage or on screen, just about anything you throw at her, and I think she carries that quality with her, and that's the quality you kind of want in a First Lady.
Her dynamism always intrigues me, and it's enjoyable to play. That's what we call it. I'm an actor. It's an active thing, as opposed to a passive thing.
Excuse me, you want to take another curtain call?
Sure.